Now, I promise you, we're getting to the poster part. Visual. People are more visual than anything else, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. These 3 posters will definitely increase the commitment and improve the presentation and explanation of the information. Okay? All right. Now, we're going to look here. We all know this poster. Now, some of you have the old posters. If you have the old poster, the old feeling versus function, and you want to get the new one, I'll give it to you half price so you can get updated. Basically, we look at the 3 parts before we do the scan and say, listen, there's 3 parts of the nerves. Motor nerves control your muscles, autonomic your internal organs, and the part that transmits pain is a very small part. So basically, they never heard this concept before, and I tell them, like, for instance, if the motor nerve was out going to your bicep and I pressed it with a pair of pliers or squeezed it, what would happen? Everybody goes, ah, it hurt. No, it wouldn't. It's not about feeling. The function of that nerve would not work. It could cause tightness, fatigue, spasm, and weakness, but it wouldn't necessarily cause pain. So the function would be disturbed. If I cut that nerve, your muscle don't work at all. Now, when we look at the autonomic, they're already starting to think, I always go, it's not about pain or feeling, it's about function. The autonomic nerve controls all your internal systems. So let's look at your lungs. If that nerve going to your lungs was out of your body and I squeezed it, what would happen? They go, it's not about pain, right? You wouldn't necessarily feel it. It wouldn't function properly. Exactly. You'd have breathing problems, more susceptible to bronchitis and different things like that. So now they start getting the concept that, well, wait a minute. The majority of the nervous system is going to be not functioning well. It's not about feeling, it's about function. And then I said, so before I told the 3rd part, if you felt something wrong, or if there was something wrong, would you feel it most of the time? Definitely nah. The part of sensory feeling is a very small part. Now, we look here and we can see now the new one has a couple other sensories: position, posture, temperature, hot and cold, and pain. So the pain parts become even smaller. So now we say feeling good does not equal good health. Good health equals healthy function. And they kind of see that the nerves in their body, the big part is motor and autonomic, small part is sensory nerves. So they start to get the concept here. Now, they're right now doubting you, so then we look and say, look at the next poster. You have a choice versus chance with your health. You have that chemical, emotional, physical stress, and I kind of press on their shoulders from birth. So having stress has affected your health to decline over time, regardless of symptoms. We're reinforcing this. Birth at health, misalignments, degeneration. So basically, over time, their health has been degenerating regardless of symptoms and been spiraling downhill. Boom, it explodes. For instance, look at this. The most dangerous symptom of all is no symptom. Why? Because the majority of the time we've been basing it on the small part and missing the big part. And we kind of show these diseases to kind of reinforce that. Heart disease, #1 killer in women more than men. The first symptom, 60% of the time, Farmington study says, boom, is death. High blood pressure, is it the loud killer? Silent killer. Diabetes, silent killer. In the United States, about 3 years ago, there was 21 some million people had diabetes, and 6 million or so did not know they had it. So why? Because they were not tested. They went on how they felt instead of how their body's functioning. And subluxations. We don't know what's happening in our bodies with the subluxations unless we actually monitor with technology, because again, we don't feel a lot. It's about our body functioning. So don't delay, get tested today. Now, these different diseases kind of reinforce that, and then we go and prove our point, and we ask them a question. If you can't feel the majority of what's going on, how do you know if it's working? And they go, I don't. Well, that's why we have this technology. This technology here, and we usually have it right over the substation in the computer. We don't guess in this office. We gauge that big part of the nerves, and see if they're working properly. The definition of health is, according to the World Health Organization, complete mental, physical, and social well-being, not merely the absence of symptoms, disease, or infirmity. So normal function equals healthy body. The key to health is function. Some of you may think we're beating this like a dead horse, but I'm telling you what, this is important for them to shift their paradigm. So basically, the new poster looks like a gauge on a dashboard, and it's done, and we added the yellow and the black, and we say this is a functional gauge of the central nervous system. We gauge the big part of the nerves that you can't feel, and basically if it's underactive, we'll see a yellow. If it's normal, if it's mild severe, now I say mild severe because People say, oh, it's mild or moderate. Well, it's mild severe. It's heading towards severe. Moderate severe is blue. Severe is red. Off the chart is black. So we're going to gauge how the big part of the nerve is working. So at the very end, the biggest thing I say then, and this is an important thing, because have you ever taken an x-ray and shown the x-ray and they go, I don't feel as bad as that looks. Because again, notice what I said, I don't feel. We say, if you don't feel the majority of the nerves in your body, do you think your scan will look worse or better than you feel? They think them in and go, probably worse. Exactly. And there's areas that along the spine that you don't even know that are being affected by the subluxation, and you'll see that too. So now they're like, wow, they're interested, and they won't freak out if the scan looks worse. So these three are very important, and like I say, a picture's worth a thousand words, and explaining the pictures and postures is important for your patient to commit to you and understand and get the big picture better. Thank you.